There are two questions to both Unilever and Walmart. So, what is your focus of support to CSPO in Central America? Focus of your support, both to Unilever and
yeah, I think for us, Central America was an interesting area to focus on because it is quite unique in our supply chain where it's grown and used locally. So it was an area where I guess we had more control, geographical control of any projects. It's also an area where I think the RSPO hasn't penetrated as much as it has in other growing parts of the world. So we wanted to see how well the RSPO was recognized and how growers there that we started to talk to viewed the RSPO. It's fair to say though, it's early days. So the project with Agri-America we did because they are dual certified to Rainforest Alliance and to RSPO. They are, from what we can tell, an extremely strong company in terms of sustainability. And we learned a lot from working with them, so much so that this is a focus we want to carry on next year. What we will do is we'll put together a case study and we'll present it through the RSPO for anyone that wants further details of what we did.
I think this is also very similar for Unilever. What we source in Central America is then used in our products in the region itself. And so very much the same concerns that there is a need to sensitize producers there to what is the RSPO, what are the standards behind certified production. But there is also some activity happening. I know that Solidaridad is actively looking at how they can engage with producers, smallholders in that region. A number of companies are also starting to talk about how we can have a better reach to producers in that region. So I think there will be a lot more growing activity in the region.
The next question to Mr. Chandran from San Maglenon. What role can government in consuming countries to play in expanding certified palm oil take up? And then where are the strongest leverage points?
Yes, very important question. One of the things which we did not really engage, at the formation of the RSPO, we felt this was very much a stakeholder initiative, and we decided at that time, or we asked ourselves the question, are governments part of the stakeholders? The consensus was not at that time. Well, we have seen over the last couple of years, great deal of engagement between RSPO and the governments in various parts of the world, especially in Malaysia and Indonesia. Now, can the government play a role in encouraging the consumption of CSPO? My answer is yes. You can see the initiatives that has been taken by the various European countries, which I mentioned in my slide, starting with Netherlands and Belgium, United Kingdom, etc. But in the case of the major consumers, who are India and the subcontinent, remember this, they are price-sensitive markets. One of the reasons why they are the biggest consumers of palm oil is because it's sold at a huge discount to soybean, rapeseed, sunflower, etc. Now, how do you encourage them? I have always told the Indian government when I speak in India, the best way of doing it, you have a 7.5% import duty on palmolene, reduce the duty by 0.5% or 1% for CSPO. Economics is the answer, and that is the only way you're going to start the ball rolling by getting the Indian consumers, the manufacturers, to buy CSPO at this stage. But of course, there is the other move. That is the multinationals. You heard the Kraft presentation, the Unilevers, the Nestles, all the multinationals who are operating in India and China. Because they have a harmonized standard, a global standard, they can't differentiate between the Western markets and the Eastern markets. So they would also encourage the consumers and the governments in their respective governments, because they're already engaging, I know that. They're already engaging with the governments to initiate measures to import certified sustainable palm oil. That is the only way we can go about it at the moment.
There are still 5 written questions here. I don't think we have time to read it and to give time to answer. But there is one important question, maybe this is from farmers, to Walmart and Unilever representative. Have you received any allegation or complaint on monopoly and or anti-competitive cartel behavior for your practices of excluding unsustainable growers, Haji Sulaiman? So for Unilever and Walmart, please.
So the question is about unsustainable growers.
Yes,
okay.
That's right.
All right. At Unilever, we take every allegation very seriously. I think we have been very upfront and honest about our commitment to sustainable palm oil production and use, and our commitment to no deforestation from the supply chain. And so we engage with all our suppliers and are very clear and specific on what our requirements are. One of the steps we have taken in our commitment to 100% certified, traceable, sustainable palm oil is that we will begin to source only from RSPO members, and we make that quite explicit because we feel this is necessary for the industry. I don't think it's necessarily a cartel. It's being transparent about exactly what we source and what we want to, and how we want to proactively communicate our commitments.
I wouldn't disagree with that at all. I guess I'd just reinforce how antitrust legislation is always at the forefront of our minds. You know, we take it absolutely seriously, and any activity that we do that involves multi-parties, we get advice from our lawyers beforehand in terms of what we can and can't do. It's a very important area for us.
There are at least 8 written questions here, but we are run out of time. So I will give all these questions to the speaker. Maybe you can contact them later on, or maybe if you have time, maybe you write it for the record of the RT10s. And then, because we don't have any more time, because there will be other speakers, so I think this is the time for us, to all of us, to give thanks to our speaker and give applause to them, big applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Bungaran and all speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, please take note of the following. GA9 registration is open. For those who are yet to register, please do so as soon as possible. Please take note that proxies are only accepted until 5 p.m. today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for our lunch sponsors, Wilma. Lunch is served at the Central Ballroom this afternoon, the ballroom just at the back of this hall. Enjoy your lunch, and we will meet again at 1:15 p.m. this afternoon.